Enemies are waiting round the corner. Let the wankers find their own. Rock like a boomerang, pissing up and down your hall. I'm not an animal. I'm a human being. What could all of this possibly mean? Let's find out as I take a look at the brand new Wildhearts album, Renaissance Man. So this is the first album from the almighty Wildhearts in 10 years, and I for one am very excited to be reviewing this one. Without a shadow of a doubt, an incredibly important band in my life, and ever since the Wildhearts has split, I've pretty much kept up to speed with everything that Ginger's been doing ever since. I even had gas. The Ginger Associated Secret Society. And the lineup for this album is what many consider to be the classic lineup. Ginger Wildheart, of course, on guitar and vocals. CJ Wildheart on guitar and backing vocals. Rich Battersby on drums. And Danny McCormack on bass. So with zero fudge to spare, let's review. First track, Dislocated. Now, I've already done a standalone review for this one, and a fantastic one it is. So make sure you go and check that one out. I'm not going to repeat myself. Which brings us to the second track, Let 'Em Go. A classic Wildhearts sound on this one. That perfect meld of pop, punk, and metallic fury. And I have to say, this one kind of brought to mind Caffeine Bomb, Sucker Punch, as well as some of the stuff on their incredible album, The Wildhearts Must Be Destroyed. And that can only be a good thing. Let 'em go, let 'em go, let the shit-filled rivers flow. When your belly burns in anger, no one ever needs to know. Let 'em go, let 'em go, let the wankers find their own. If they're not there to share your troubles, you'll be better off on your own. One of the things I love so much about this band is their ability to write songs that just ingrain themselves in your brain immediately. It's mostly Ginger, to be fair, but there is just something about the chemistry of these four guys together. It just sounds like no other band. Fantastic slab of Wildhearts. Next up, we have the title track itself, The Renaissance Men. Things go off in a more pop direction on this one, but no less glorious. Or rock and roll. Back in your face again, we're the Renaissance Men. Like the DC-10 band, the Renaissance Men. We're going to make you sing if anyone can. We'll rock you like a boomerang. I'm not sure how much boomerangs rock, but I'll take Ginger's word for it. They never fail to put in that huge and catchy chorus. Chorus? Glorious. Glorious chorus, fuck's sake. Next up, we have The Fine Art of Deception. Some real heavy, down-picked Ramones-style chugging on this one, and this kind of brought to mind TV Tan parts of it. If I'm pissing up and down your hall and I'm casting shadows on your wall, don't let my proximity mean what it may imply. I'm just working on a way. Say goodbye. We get a great section of bullshits. Just listen to the song. Next up, we have Diagnosis, and this has a real AC/DC sort of themed riff, and it sounds great. This one deals with mental illness, or the stigma of mental illness, I guess, and this is something that Ginger, in particular, is very keen to bring awareness to. You are not your diagnosis. You're not the prescription in your hand. You are not your diagnosis. Simplify for them to understand. You're not an animal. You're not an animal. You're not an animal. I am a human being. Not many bands can make something this dark and serious sound so goddamn catchy. It's probably why they never got as big as they should have done, because they're just one of those bands who aren't afraid to go there. Next up, we have My Kind of Movie, and there's some huge riffs on this one. Kind of sounds like an amped up version of Guns N' Roses. If this was on video, I'd get my money back. Hire this on VHS and spend the rest on crack. Free to Be Who I Be does not endorse the use of or buying/distribution of crack. Stay safe, guys. Pure metallic pop punk bliss. That was tough to say. Next up, we have Little Flower. This one comes across as an early Beatles composition through a punk filter. It's actually a song written by CJ. Run together, hand in hand. You fell into my world like a perfect plan. My little flower. The bridge section goes into much heavier territory before returning to the Beatlesque chorus. Something I haven't mentioned yet as well is the band's ability to go through such changes throughout all their songs as well. Throughout a single song you'll get changes in tempo, style and often genre. Is that not the same thing? All in the space of a single song. Well, the weather has actually cleared up a bit, so I thought I'd finish the review outside. Getting a bit claustrophobic in that mofo. Next song is Emergency, Fentanyl Babylon. Another furious melding of punk and pop, and this time the lyrics take on the dependence of prescription drugs. Or more specifically, how doctors will just hand out prescriptions as medication to people with mental health issues, who could quite frankly do with counselling or therapy to get over their issues, rather than prescribing the band-aid over cancer that is bullshit prescriptions. Money seems to be all that matters to a lot of these fucks. And apparently this was actually written the week that Prince passed away, and apparently he was taking fentanyl. It was one of the things that killed him. Propranolol killed Michael Jackson, and fentanyl has a reliable reaction. The medical profession is a crime that pays. Great riffs, thought-provoking lyrics, and catchy as hell. Next up we have My Side of the Bed. The intro to this one had a bizarre kind of a feel that wouldn't have gone out of place on the excellent PHUQ album, and there were also parts of the song, as is the rest of the album, that was very reminiscent, and understandably so, to a lot of Ginger's later solo work. And lyrically speaking, this one deals with the sway towards the more right-leaning thinkers of today. Well, I never met a racist growing up with my mates, because the blacks were always tougher than nails. I did see them later when I moved away. I saw a phobia of the readers of the Daily Mail. But Ginger has a solution to this problem. Self-improvement. If you'd like to improve your own life, why not check out my second channel, Free to Be Positive. And then we get to the final song on this album, Pilo Erection. Another one that I felt had similarities to the PHUQ era. Now, this one, despite its rather blue-sounding title, is actually a song about being excited by the better things in life. Those things that inspire, excite, and give you energy. Something that we all need more of. Can also apply to people and friendships, apparently. I don't really see that one. Don't be scared of me. Just be there for me. I'm aware I need somewhere to share my energy. A great close to a great album, and I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. Now, I'm well aware that I'm somewhat biased to this band because they mean such a great deal to me, but this is genuinely a fantastic album. I was going to say it's a true return to form, but I don't know if that sums it up really. Wildhearts albums are always a glorious thing. It's been 10 years since the last album, Chutzpah. It kind of doesn't feel like the band have been away. As I mentioned earlier on, Ginger's songwriting is kind of almost like System of a Down in a way, in terms of it just hooks it just hooks itself into your brain immediately. Feels like those songs have always been there and always been around and always been a friend. But this is a truly great Wildhearts album, and long-term fans will be more than pleased, I'm sure. And if you're new to this band, remedy that immediately. Check this album out, I guarantee you won't be disappointed. They are without a doubt one of our institutions. Ginger Wildheart is a national treasure, or at least he should be. Why this band isn't huge, I'll never know. Just such a great, underrated band. Play it loud, play it proud, and let everybody know the glory that is the Wildhearts. That all got a bit dramatic towards the end there, didn't it? Don't know how to end now, really.